Yo, Cards and Cannabis, Season 2, Episode Wheels. We rocking the eights like Colbs did. And happy holidays and happy new year. Took a little holiday, kind of decompress, do the family time. And man, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I hope Santa packed the tree. I hope the family is content. And now everybody's back at school. We can get back in the swing of things. So let's kick it. It's 2025. Never thought we would get this far. And literally, just like the Jetsons, people talking about flying in drones over here on the East Coast and this, that, and the fourth. And man, let me just tell you what. Life has never been short of interesting. And it just keeps on going. So I got to thank the sponsors. I got to thank XS. They send some cool new merch. You can check them out at xsgear.com. Perfect Blast. They got the infused hot chocolate. This is what I'm talking about, gang. 2025. They got products. I mean, people like, oh, I don't like the smoky smoke. You don't need to. You don't have to tokey toke. You could just sippy sip. That's what I'm talking about. Magnificent. Man, how technology has come along and so many new ways of being creative. I was going to pop this year off, 2025. I want to go through the box. Just a little black box that we got here. These are some cards that are going to be getting changed over here in the upcoming months. And you guys ever reach a point where you're a collector? We're not a retailer. We're not a flipper. We're a collector. And it's like all the walls are getting packed. So now space becomes a premium. It's like the card tables where you got your collection on display, right? For those select people that you allow to come into the cave. It's like it's getting tight. So we got to consolidate. And then it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. You really want a PSA 10 86 Fleer. But reality says, your budget says you could get like a PSA 4. You know what I mean? So you go do that. I got it. It satisfied that rumbling in the stomach for a little bit. But then all of a sudden, as time goes by, it's like, I'm getting tired of looking at that 4. I want a 5 or a 6 or 7, or you want to upgrade. Or maybe you've got a stack of 10s of one player, but you just don't have that silver prism, or you don't have that, number to 25, or maybe you don't have the exquisite, and listen, certain products, yes, they're going to be out of reach. So you mentally check that out. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I can still live my life. Getting an exquisite LeBron James from Shine 150, or hitting the jackpot on Golden. They got that 101 MJ, I think, just sold for 2.9. It's like, all right, life still goes on. But after you've gotten a bunch of your faves autoed, and it comes down to the GOAT, and we are closing the gap to having to come to terms with, I have to get a Michael Jordan autograph to complete the collection. I might have to get a Tom Brady autograph to complete the collection. Which one? I don't know. But it's like, now you're at the point where it's like, I'm not budget shopping. I can wait. The room is packed. The walls are full. There's nowhere else to go. And if I'm going to take something down to add something now, it's got to be right. So, what do we do with all the other stuff we purchased? Well, let's start going through some stuff that we may liquidate in order to grow the collection. And these are just some stuff off the top of my head as I'm going through that definitely going to be parting some ways with, but they're cards that I actually like. So I'm not going to be, just throwing them out there just to get rid of them. You know what I mean? God has been good. And I'm glad I don't have to do that. But I am going to utilize these as resources to get the thing that I really want. And I don't know anybody. You don't even have to be a Michael Jordan fan. You would like to own a Michael Jordan autograph, at least authenticated. We don't need to get a high grade, but we want to have that in the collection. That's mandatory. It's like the 52 Mantle. Do I need to have that? I don't know. I don't know if Mickey transcends the globe the way MJ did. As a matter of fact, I don't know. Like, you got this guy Ovechkin. He's coming. He may have already got it already. We're a couple days into the new year, and Ovechkin, I believe, was 1 goal away. So there's a probability he already got it. But it's like, how would I know? Because hockey doesn't reach the globe the way basketball does. Basketball and soccer reach the globe. It's kind of hard. It's like somebody posted a card earlier of Diego Maradona. And it's like, you don't even need to be a hockey fan and you know who Diego Maradona is. And it's like, he's not even Pele or Cristiano Ronaldo. And now they're saying that the GOAT may be Messi. It's like, I grew up under the impression that Wayne Gretzky was the GOAT, but this guy Ovechkin is going to take his record. And it's like, I grew up under the impression that Pele was the GOAT, but it's like, Messi did his thing. And it's like, the one thing that there's no debate, Jordan's the GOAT. You can't deny that. It's like Mike Tyson, you can have that debate. You know, there's a handful of other guys, and you could question. It's like, even with a guy like Floyd Mayweather. Let's take Floyd Mayweather, for example. The guy's undefeated in his professional record. He fought everybody he needed to at the time. And you can debate whether or not the Pacquiao fight was fought timely, but they did fight. They did engage, and Floyd did win. And you could say that Pacquiao came in injured, this, that, and the fourth. But it's like, you could still say, like, Bud Crawford probably would have beat Floyd Mayweather. And that's an unknown. Michael Jordan, hard to do. It's very hard. I mean, this whole LeBron thing is just preposterous. Because LeBron hasn't gotten past Kobe's yet. And it's like, it's ironic to me. I was thinking this the other day. They say LeBron started out wearing 23. That's just paying homage to the GOAT. But then he changed his jersey number to 6. And it's like, why did you pick 6? And you can say all sorts of things, but it's like, in his mind and in his heart of hearts, the guy won 6 rings. And only one person did it sequentially, and that's Mike. And that whole year that he took off, we'll never know what happened. We'll never know the real reason why he left. Was it gambling? I don't know. Did he need a break? I don't know. Like, you don't see Tom Brady quitting after 3 rings saying, I did it. You know what I mean? Oh, I already did it. I tied Joe Montana. Or, well, in football, he needed Terry Bradshaw. I believe Terry Bradshaw had 4 as a quarterback, and he had the most until Brady did his thing, I believe, at the time. Check me on that. But it's like, at no point when Brady got 5, was he like, I'm done. As a matter of fact, he got 6, and he tied Mike. And then he did the one thing that Mike couldn't do, and the one thing that Joe Montana couldn't do, and that's go to another team and win. And he did it first year, and that's very impressive. If anybody could say that they rivaled MJ, it's Tom Brady. If anybody could say that they passed MJ, it's only maybe Tom Brady or Lionel Messi. And I don't even know Messi' career. I didn't follow him at all. But I do know that he's considered the GOAT of soccer. It's like, it's kind of hard. It's like, here's another one. Ready? Tiger Woods. It's like, is Tiger Woods the greatest golfer ever? Well, there's other people that have more majors than he does, you know? And it's like, it's debatable. I would honestly say Tiger's the GOAT. I mean, the guy dominated 2 decades, and it's very hard to do that. So, but these are just some cards that I was going through that you may end up seeing coming to a auction or a card show or a card shop near you. But this guy right now is tearing it up. And this is a 2021 Silver Prism Nikola Jokic. It's graded a 9. This isn't a banger, but it's definitely going to help get in there and help contribute to the acquisition of some new heat. So Nikola Jokic, but he's averaging a triple-double, I think. The guy is definitely, I mean, of his era, he's in the top five. Top five. Another one here, and hopefully he stays out of Diddy heat, because you may see this guy's stock go down, but this is a Topps base 2003 LeBron James PSA 9. So we're going to enter that one into the market. And that's because I'm actually looking to upgrade that card to a 10. I got a couple 9s and I got an 8. So I figure I could trade maybe a 9 and an 8 and some cash for a 10. Or maybe throw that Jokic in. I don't know. This guy, I don't want to sell this card. But he's not somebody that's going to be in my PC. And we'll talk about that, who you keep in your PC. I have standards and criteria for my PC, just because if you're going to go up on a wall in my house and your initials aren't JC, it's like you better be running a tight ship, because this guy's got a reputation. But right now, he's playing really good basketball, and that is James Harden. And this is a PSA 10, and you got Jeff Teague, who is an all-star and an NBA champion. Let's throw that out there. Everybody's like, oh, Jeff Teague's on there. Jeff Teague's got a chip. James Harden does not. But James Harden is second all-time in three-pointers, and the guy's playing really good ball, and I believe he's got a league MVP. So it's like you've got a champion, league MVP, both all-stars. This is a great card. I believe it's Pop 3, and I believe it's numbered here 32 of 99. So this one is definitely going to be a contributing factor in acquiring some new heat. This team has been on a losing streak, but they are the talk of the town, and this is a base prism PSA 10 Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum is hands down in the top 20 in the league. Some may say top 10, which is fair. The guy's got a great career. He's got a chip. He's a multiple perennial all-star, and we could debate how much playing time he got in the Olympics over his counterpart, Jaylen Brown. But those two, with Porzingis and this kid White, they doing it. They doing it, and you may see them deep in the playoffs this year, if not in the finals again, defending their title. Perfect blast. Infused hot chocolate, gang. You should check this out. It's dope. So I have a couple guys that are in my and I got a bunch of cards I pulled out here, but I'll consolidate this. I have a whole box over here. Maybe we'll go through it on the next episode a little bit more, but lots of Ja Morant's, because he was my favorite player until he started getting dumb. And then what happens when you get dumb? All of a sudden, you attract negative. And it's ironic, all of a sudden, injuries start cropping up. So, Ja Morant, please, let's just go back to the way it was. And we know that can't happen, but in moving forward, reinventing yourself, doing whatever, you have the possibility to be one of the next GOATs. Don't mess that up for you and for my collection, too. So this guy right now, though, I'm really loving, and that's Victor Wembanyama. This is a base 10 Victor Wembanyama PSA, of which there is a gazillion of these, and it's unfortunate. So what we had to do is find some alternatives, and that is the Beckett 10 Victor Wembanyama. And I chose the Topps Now version of this because instead of the Prism with the Beckett, just because I believe and I consider personally this to be his first card. The Topps Now, he has got one with a split where it's him and some other cat. And needless to say, this card right here, the Victor Wembanyama, this is a Beckett 10. And we've got a couple of them that we'll be getting out there. And we've got stuff to keep. But then this right here, I consider to be a upgrade to both of those because the population count of this card is still, I believe, under 100, and that is the Beckett Black Label 10. And we picked up a couple of these just because I went back through and I started looking at inventories of big men. I like to collect big men. I love Shaquille O'Neal. I love Tim Duncan. I love just the whole concept. These guys are monsters. I mean, I played football in college, and it's like you think you saw big until you get to the NBA, and you're just looking up. You're like, what? And it's like, you know, these dudes are 7 feet with mass. And I know Vic don't have the mass, but when you watch this guy play, man, I mean, he does things that it's like, I ain't never seen that. And he didn't even leave the ground, and he's blocking guys with his feet on the ground. He's dunking, basically only moving. He's going to be around a while because the level of impact he takes in retrospect to what Ja Morant takes, because we all see Ja. We all know why we love Ja. I mean, seriously, just watch a Ja Morant highlight on YouTube, any of them, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, what is that? Exactly. You could say the same for Ant Edwards, too. These guys athletically are unreal, but Victor, it's not as much the athleticism as it's like, you ain't that tall and you ain't that long, and it's like, you couple that with his athleticism and ability to move and his coordination, and it's like this guy is going to be a problem for a long time. And if you had to say futures, if we were betting futures here, if we were going long calls and we were going out of the money, way deep into the investment, right now, if I had to go between Ja and Vic, I'm going to have to say, and this pains me to say it, but right now I got to go with Vic. Got to go with Vic. You got to do a little soul searching. It's part of being a champion, too, by the way. Remember, Buddy was only drafted in 2019. We acting like this guy's an OG. Like, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, All-Star, pulling out guns. It's a learning lesson. I was mad we're not going to beat him up too much. I don't see that with Vic. Just about his personality and his disposition. I see the way he just seems to be a well-rounded individual. I don't know. This is just all speculation, but it's like, it's exciting. And I can't wait. 2025 is going to be a great year in the NBA. 2025 is going to be a great year in NHL. You got a new record breaker. Unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles blew it. They had the opportunity, and I believe there was a big mistake on them as an organization not to let Saquon Barkley get that record. That record's been around for a hot minute. And if the Eagles believe that they're going to win the Super Bowl, I would have to say they're smoking crack. Just because I live in the Philadelphia market, and it's like I've lived my whole life with what-ifs in Philly. And the only time that you guys did win a championship is when the Lord himself came down and blessed your locker room. And that's documented and official. You beat Tom Brady. You beat 5-ring Brady. Like, that wasn't happening. That Eagles team was not, with a rookie quarterback too, by the way. No hate on Jalen Hurts, but he would definitely attest that that was a gift from God. And they deserved it, to be honest. They played it. They did it. They did it. You know, there was no controversy in that game. They straight up won. Good for them. Kudos. But, like, you think you're going to do that again this year? No. Give that guy the record, man. Have something to look back and say, yeah, we got the GOAT. We got the all-time leading rusher. Because that's not just Saquon Barkley. That's the offensive line, too. Like, seriously, as a Cowboys fan going back into the 90s, you can't say, oh, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman. No, that offensive line did all that. And Darryl Johnson. Don't get that twisted one bit. That offensive line is the reason Emmitt Smith is who Emmitt Smith is today. So it's like, as Emmitt Smith was a north-south runner, you couldn't compare him to Barry Sanders. Like, there was like apples and oranges. It was the greatest argument that would never be resolved. Greatest running back of the 90s. No one can say, because you got 3 chips for Emmitt and then you got no chips for Barry, but we all know Barry was just out of this world. Like, you can't not watching Barry Sanders highlights like watching John Morant. You're going to be an immediate fan. It's automatic. Some of you young bucks need to go back and watch some of these OGs, because like There's a reason they call Walter Payton sweetness. What this guy did to grown men, he embarrassed them in front of stadiums of tens of thousands of people just because he was that good. So, listen, 2025, let's make it our year. We'll see you out and about. Some of y'all want to get involved into our Cards and Cannabis trade nights that we put on. They're invite only. There's some criteria. 21 and older, that's how we do. Always want to shout that out too. You know, when you're dealing with the counterpart to this podcast, make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you're supporting your local dispensaries. Make sure you're supporting your local card shops. Make sure you're enjoying the whole process stress-free. When you step over the line, sometimes it gets a little stressful. There's no need for that anymore. It's 2025. You know what I mean? So, salud. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.